What is up? Okay, so just got done pumping. This is 1 p.m. pump session. If you see a changing in settings, I am actually downstairs. I got discharged this morning. I am downstairs in our daughter's room. Isabel in Amelia's room. I'll show you guys here. Let me turn the camera here and I'll show you guys. I don't spill those. So that's the room. And Trenton is across the hall and 2 doors down. And he just got off his ultraviolet light, so he's no longer blue light baby. And when they came to do rounds this morning, rounds basically means what they go in every baby's room, and they talk about like every day, like an update of an overnight update of what went on and what's coming up in basically what happened overnight, today's goals for each baby, and then what's coming up in the future or any future like medications or anything that they need. And don't do what I'm doing, by the way, with the breast thingies. Don't never use your teeth on breast thingies. But they did give me a little breast bag, so I'm going to go and hand this to the nurses and steam them because they gave me a breast bag for the breast pump parts and special water that goes in it. It's sterilizing water. And you just put all your parts in here. You pour the water into here. It's already pre-measured water. You hand it to the nurses and they steam everything. And then what I do is I take, these are each 2.5 ounces, and then I pour them into the 2 ounce things because these have lids. I pour one in there, put this in the steam bag, and put the lid on it. And we put our fancy little label on it, which has the time and the date. You write in the time and you write in the date. And they give you enough of those because you want to make sure you have enough labels for each time you pump. But what I was thinking about, the rounds. So the rounds. So Amelia's round was up first. They were talking about Amelia first, and she is doing really well. She's the spunkiest one. She's the fighter. I don't want to say fighter. She's more like just very spunky. I don't know, spicy. I guess they described it as spicy. She is the smallest. She did gain. I think she gained some weight. I can't read her chart right now. She's continuing on the 3 milliliters of breast milk for feeding at the moment. The only concern that they had with her was her chest is a little indented, concaved, and that concerned me because they asked if any of our other kids had that, and I said no, or at least my kids didn't, and I didn't know if Jim's did. Jim Googled it. And that kind of raised my anxiety a little bit because I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? And they said it could be because she's so small. She's only like 2 pounds and some ounces still. And it's could be just very, very common. She'll probably fatten out over the next couple of weeks. So if she doesn't fatten out in the next couple of weeks, I might have to do some kind of intervention. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they don't seem to be that worried about it. Then they went on to Isabel. Isabel has a low laying, what's it called? Low laying line. Basically, her feeding tube or one of her tubes is in her umbilical cord really, really low, and so that means that we cannot hold her because they don't want to chance it getting knocked around or pulled out or anything, and they're not going to reposition it unless they really have to. So at the moment, we cannot hold Isabel. But she actually increased her feeding to 12 milligrams now. So she was on 8. Now she's on 12. So she gets, not milligrams, milliliters. Basically, she gets 12, not 12 ounces, but 12 milliliters. She is more of the shy one. She's kind of the calmer one. She's kind of just hanging out, like chilled, which is funny because she was the most active baby in my tummy. Then Trenton. Here's where I started to break down. Trenton, he obviously is a boy. His lungs are cloudy, and they had to show me the x-ray of it. So basically, he's off of his blue light breathing machine, and he's back on the CPAP machine, which is what they want him on. But it's pushing too hard on his lungs. They don't want to pop his capillaries in his lungs. And his lungs are cloudy. I don't know how to read x-rays, obviously, but it's almost as if it's kind of like I don't know, I will just say cloudy. I don't know how to describe it. Obviously, I can't show you guys the x-rays. But so when they're talking about his cloudiness and how they have to watch it because his breathing, his lungs keep going up and down. They're not doing well with being able to breathe. Right now, he's stable. Well, he's stable on the CPAP machine. He was stable at first, and they had to take him off of it and put it on the breathing machine. But now he's stable again. So hopefully he'll stay stable and he'll continue to get stronger. But I started to break down because when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, thinking the worst because, my anxiety goes to, oh my God, what happens if like he needs intervention? Like what's the worst case scenario? And when, how will they know? And obviously it's a hour by hour thing. Every hour can change. He could get, get better for like 3 days and then drop back down and have to go on a breathing machine again. They're preemies. It's common. I know that. But overall, after my breakdown, the nurses reassured me that for their age at 31 weeks, right now where they are at, because it's December 2nd, they were born on the 29th, so they are, a couple days old. Right now, they are all on point with where they should be. Yes, there's some minor issues, but that's perfectly common in preemies and especially how small they are. So they reassured me that everything's fine. I know that they are. This hospital that I'm at, New Hanover Regional Medical, has a great NICU. They really, really do. Especially since they built the new center back when my son was born. So it's really good. It's like, I really believe it's up there. I mean, obviously nothing's going to compare to like Duke or Chapel Hill, but it's up there. So they're doing everything that they can. They reassure me that everybody's fine. They did get fed at, I can't remember what time, 11:30 or something, get all their tubes changed out. Now they're just sleeping. I just pumped my 1 o'clock pump. It's this. Hold on here. All right, I had to pause that, and I don't know where I was at. So I had to pause it because the nurse is coming in just to check Amelia's light because her heat lamp keeps going off. It's a common thing when her heating gets too hot or too cold. Not too cold, but basically, after they gave me all that information, I had a major breakdown because it was overwhelming to hear because I kept thinking was wrong. And after, Lillian, my stillborn, and then losing Cora, it was a lot of information all at once. And that, of course, my hormones are going crazy. The mommy instincts in me. But it does help to have them down here. I will be going into Trenton's room in a little bit, and I'll be showing you guys his room. Overall, I'm very happy that I'm discharged from upstairs, and I'm down here. I'm going to spend the night tonight down here in hopefully one of the family rooms. I know I've said this like 1,000 times, and hopefully we can spend the night in the family room. If not, one, because I want to sleep next to Jim. It would be nice to actually sleep next to him. But if we can't sleep in the family room, then I will be in the girls' room, and Jim will probably be in Trenton's room for guy time. Yeah, overall, the nurses say they're doing great. They are perfectly fine for their age. That's, I think, where I left off is for 31 weeks and a few days. This is perfectly normal. So there's nothing majorly wrong with them. Trenton does have a heart murmur still. I guess Jim said that one of his kids had it, and he had it when he was born, and it's common. I know heart murmurs are very common in preemies. It's just like one of those things where like I hear heart murmur, and I think that if it doesn't even out, it's going to have heart surgery. and that's just me. I know that's not the case. People grow up with heart murmurs all their, I mean, there's adults with heart murmurs. Because I know I have bronchial spasms, which is like asthma, but it's not full on asthma. When I tend to run or do something too extraneous, that's why cheerleading and sports were kind of hard when I was little, because my lungs tend to feel like pop rocks after a while. So I know heart murmurs, that didn't concern me. It was just the fact that his lungs, they don't want to give him too much of this in case they don't want to pop his lungs. But his lungs are very, very delicate. And that's only because they think that when they gave me the medication to develop their lungs, it went mostly to the girls and not to him. So he got the least amount of the lung development before Amelia decided they all had to be born. Overall mental health-wise, though, minus that little breakdown, I'm doing okay today. I'm doing a lot better now that I'm down here with them. Tomorrow I will be going home because I miss our pets like crazy. I miss our animals. I've been away from them for a week, and I know once I get home I'll feel a lot better. I'll feel like home again. It's hard to leave them, but I know they're in good hands. And I'm kind of getting sick of the hospital environment, if that makes sense. So I definitely want to go home. Jim's working tonight, so he won't get off till late tonight, or else I would go home tonight. I would have gone home when Mom picked him up, but I wanted to stay here for a little bit, and I'm glad I did because we got all that information. And if we would have waited over the weekend, we would have gotten that information on Monday, and that would have been hard. But Amelia, has a X-ray scan coming up. Can't remember exactly when. I think tomorrow or Sunday. And then Isabel and Trenton have theirs on the 8th. So there's a lot of things going on this coming up week. I'll keep you guys informed, obviously. I can't remember it all. Obviously, it's a lot of information for me to take in right now. And I'm trying to do the best I can keeping up with my vlogs and keeping you guys up to date, because if this helps anybody else out there with whether you have one baby or multiple babies, or if this is your first pregnancy or this is your last pregnancy, it just helps. I'm helping hopefully somebody out there keep you guys informed of what's going on. But yeah, I'm really tired, but it's 2 o'clock now and I have an hour till I might get a room. Because the head nurse who does the rooms won't be here until 3, or they don't transition the people out until kind of like a hotel, you have a checkout time. So there is that. If I don't get a room, then I'm definitely going to ask for some bed sheets and lay down in here and probably take a nap. I did have a small coffee today, to be honest. I had a light coffee. I did not have my dark roast because I love dark roast. I love strong black coffee, but I had a light roast with cream in it because I needed a little something. That's probably why I'm still a little awake. My blood blister is getting a lot better, and now that I'm producing a lot more breast milk, I can take some of that, squeeze it out onto my nipple, and then rub it on my face. I know this sounds gross, but trust me, it really does work for acne. Breast milk is a miracle thing for everything: cradle cap, diaper rash, acne, sore boobs. Instead of buying the nipple rash cream, don't waste your money on nipple rash cream unless your boobs are really, really, really bad. But usually, if you rub some breast milk on them, they'll heal up naturally. But I do know it works in acne. It feels really, really weird to put breast milk on your face because it tends to be sticky. But trust me, if you put it on there and you leave it on there and you don't mess with it until the next time you wash your face, it will help. I did get a breast pump from the lactation people to take home tomorrow until I get mine from WIC. I did order one from Edge Park. I have that being sent out on the 15th. I am going to keep that one because I don't remember which one I ordered. I mean, obviously I'll get one from WIC, and it will look just like this one that I've shown you guys here. It'll look just like that one. And, but I hopefully I ordered the one off of Edge Park that is a hands-free one, because then I can walk around the house and stuff. That's what I want to talk about, is my discharge. So discharge papers, it's going to be really hard going home and not doing anything. I'm not allowed to do anything, like you can't sweep them off or anything, which is perfectly fine. I mean, I don't really need to do anything. It's just like, I know I talked about this, like my nesting instincts will kick in that I'll want to do something, and then I'll probably end up doing too much. But as tired as I am, and I know I need to rest, I'll hopefully be sleeping a lot at home, minus making the updates of the vlogs and maybe posting TikToks and stuff. Other than that, there's not really much left to say about right now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back on here later on today and talk more. But so far, day one, part one of this vlog is done. So I'm not sure what to call it yet. Well, you guys will know when I title this vlog thing. So on the note, until I guess later on today. All right, it is 4:30 in the morning, December 3rd, and so tired, as to be expected. Pumping sessions are going good, or going great. Getting mostly 4 ounces or over, which is awesome. Going home today. I spent the night in the hospital last night, and we got a family room, and the 4 o'clock breast pumping sessions are the hardest. Once I get past those, then it's easy breezy. That's the only time of the night that is the hardest, is the 4 o'clock ones. So now that I know that, I can prepare myself. But since I'm going home today, I can sleep all day in a better environment, and I miss the pets. So yay. Once I get up at the 7 o'clock pumping, I'm going to ask for more supplies to take home with me, because as of right now, I have used all of the bottles with the lids on them that they gave me. I have 4 left. I have 2 left for the 7 o'clock pumping session. If I was staying, I'd have 2 more for the 10 o'clock, but I'm sure they'll give me some more. If not, I do have breastfeeding or breast milk bags at home. I don't have that many though, so I'm going to have to definitely get more of those, which I knew anyways I'd have to get. But maybe they'll give me some bigger ones. And the bags at home, I'm going to start freezing, and then I can bring those here, and then they can freeze the milk. But one more round of breast pumping in the hospital to go, and then I can be done with the hospital. Well, I mean, besides visiting. Now, if I want to come back and spend the night, obviously I will. But as of right now, I will say one thing. Every time I pump, I have to pee, which is kind of an annoying pain in the ass. And then I have to wash out the bottle parts, which is not annoying. It's annoying that every single time I have to pump, I have to pee. But that's okay. So that's the update at 4:30 in the morning. Hello. All right. 1, you might recognize the background. 2, I know that it's dark right now in my environment. I am back home. So I don't feel like turning on the light because I am resting. So you're going to have to bear with me with the darkness, and I apologize for that. Except for that my nails look really good. My nails would actually match the wall. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, my nails are silver. They kind of match the walls. Anyways, okay, so woke up at 4 o'clock for my breast pumping. Could not get back to sleep. We did have a room last night. I did not take a tour of the mini family room that we got. All it was is you walk in. It's like a tiny closet type of room. It just had a twin-size bed, a changing table that folded down in the wall, a mirror, a little cabinet to like hang stuff or store some stuff. They had a nightstand with a drawer and a cutout, and then in the bottom of the clothing thingy was a drawer. That's pretty much all there was. Oh, and then there was a chair in there, so you could like sit down and feed your baby and stuff. No, I couldn't get back to sleep, so stayed up, and then I had to feed at 7 because that was the last feeding at the hospital. Went to go see the babies and have some baby pictures. Amelia was still the little spicy French fry. I don't know why I'm calling her spicy French fry, but apparently spicy French fry is Amelia's nickname that I'm giving her at the moment. Don't ask. I don't know. Isabel is the calm, chilled one. She's laid back. She just has no care in the world. And Trenton's just kind of stuck in the middle. He's apparently every time I want to like touch him or like hold him in this little thingy, he like puts up his dukes. It's really hilarious. So got to see them. Got to Trenton this morning has to go back under the blue light because he is still a little jaundiced. But, you know, so he'll be blue light special again, which is perfectly common in preemies or in newborns. I mean, jaundice, I knew about jaundice. I wasn't really worried about it. When I did go into the girls' room this morning, Isabel was getting her chest x-rayed and some other x-rays. I know they were due for x-rays coming up on the 8th, I think is what I heard. So I'm not really sure. I'm sure they're going to inform us about, you know, all their x-rays and stuff like that. Then Mom came to pick us up, and we dropped her off at home, and then we came home. And, of course, the animals were ecstatic to see me. Bandit, my little kitty cat, who was afraid of me at first because he's like, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. So he's been kind of attached to me. He's outside at the moment, which is surprising because he's been following me everywhere since I got home. It's hard to be home and not do anything, to be honest with you guys. It really is, because Jim is doing the laundry, he's doing the dishes, he's sweeping, he's going to mop tomorrow or Monday, whatever. But it's really hard because I still see dust, or like, not dust, I still see things that the animals got to on the floor, and it's really hard not to sweep it up. And the only way don't like sweep or mop is because it's strenuous on your body. I mean, if you're doing like this motion, of course it's going to be strenuous on your body, and you need to rest as much as possible. I did have lunch today. I already pumped when I came home because I missed my 10 o'clock breast pumping session. So, because we were driving, I picked up my ibuprofen. I did not pick up my other medication just because the doctor it didn't register to that doctor's name, so I had to call the hospital and get that sent over. I'll do that later because right now I really don't care. I might do that tomorrow or later on tonight. But coming home is nice. I know that the babies are in good hands, and they will call if there's any like changes or anything, and I can always call, you know, and check up on them and everything else. Did find out that the cameras that they have in the baby's room were registered to the room that they were in previously. So I don't know if that is for that, like, let's say, like Trenton. He was in room 18 before, he's in room 9 now. So I don't know if the camera that they initially, like the password and username that they initially gave us were for room 18, or if it's just for Trenton himself and it can be transferred to room 9. So I have to ask them about that. I did get more of these bottle thingies, which I'm about to pump here in a minute. Actually, let me go ahead and pause you guys and then pump, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay. All right, where did I leave off? I'm not sure where I left off before I had to pump, but pumping done. I have my camera flashlight on, so that's why the lighting is really weird right now. But we're just going to move forward. So I came home and ate some food, relaxed a little, and I did some little things, like I put away the clean clothes that I didn't use at the hospital, remade the bed, because I can make the bed. I just can't do strenuous stuff. I took a shower, which felt so good to take a shower. It was weird because the tape from the incision, not the tape on my incision, like not the tape like that, but like the gauze tape that was like more so on the side of my belly, it was still stuck on there, so I had to like really scrub to get that sticky residue off. Pumping at home is going great. My goal is to the hospital cups that you get. These cups right here. I think I said this earlier, but I have a couple of these, and I have one that's clean. So I have one, every time I pump, I store the little bottles. I put the lid on the little bottles, store them in the fridge so they could cool enough. Then I'm going to pour them into that cup. When that cup gets full, I pour them into the baggies. I did write on the baggies the timestamp that I started pumping. That way, whatever milk is in the fridge in that container is the timestamp from that baggie, if that makes any sense at all. That way, I can go ahead and start freezing some breast milk for when the babies come home later on. I will also be using that cup later on to disperse breast milk into bottles for the babies at the hospital. And so it's trying to figure out like daytime versus nighttime, because I want to fill the baggies up, but I also don't want to take away from the hospital supply. So it's kind of like hit or miss. It's like I have to figure out how to build up my supply at home while the babies are in the hospital, but also give them my breast milk so they don't have to use donor milk or formula. I don't care if they use donor milk or formula. That's not the problem. It's just the fact that I want them to have my stuff. And so it's trying to figure out how to divide the breast milk up. And that's going to be a challenge. I don't know what else to say, I guess. Right now, it is 4:30. And I'm really tired. I really, really, really should take a nap since I was up since 4:30. And I'm not up to that level of taking a nap yet. I do have my alarm clock set, like I said, to every 3 hours. So even if I did take a nap, I will be waking up at 7 to pump again, and then again at 10, etc., etc. I'm going to stick to that schedule, even though I'm at home and even though my bed is so comfortable and it is so easy to fall behind. I'm going to try to stick to the schedule. And I say try now because I can tell my ADHD and my laziness. I'll get to the point where I'll skip a feeding and just say screw it, and I'll just catch up on the next one. No, because once the babies are home, you can't just skip a feeding. You have to stick on a schedule. So I'm trying to train my body now. It's easier said than done. And obviously I'll keep you guys informed on the scheduling, but I'm going to let you guys go now because I have to figure out dinner because I need to eat something. I had a late lunch, and it was a very filling lunch, but I have to figure out dinner. So on the note, for today, that's it. Bye. Hello, and welcome to Sunday, December 4th. All right, so it is a weird angle because at the moment I am pumping. It is 1:05 p.m. on December 4th. It is a Sunday, and the babies will be a week old already on Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning, because they were born at 4:26, 4:28, and 4:29 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So we did get to call them and talk to them this morning. Well, not talk to the babies, but talk to the nurse this morning about how the babies were doing. All babies are doing great still so far overnight. Isabel and Amelia might have to go back under their blue lights for jaundice, which is common. And Amelia, when we were talking to the nurse, had peed all over her bed. So all the babies did poop already. Isabel was the first one to poop. Trenton was the second, and Amelia just pooped just the other day when I was holding her. And why is that important? Because you want your babies to be able to poop within the first week of breastfeeding, or just in general, to make sure that their bowels are good, to make sure that there's no any infections or whatever. So all babies are pooping. Isabel, I forgot to ask about Trenton and Amelia, but Isabel's pooping every single day, at least once a day, so that's good. Because I know, infants, from what I remember, don't poop like us. We don't poop So today's topics I did not discuss yesterday or whatever, with you guys. I wrote down some more postpartum TMI things, and just to kind of give you guys kind of a rundown. After C-section, and I know other people out there on YouTube have vlogs like this too. If you hear me, I'm so tired, so I've been trying to sleep off and on between pumping runs. That's what I'm doing right now, is pumping. But after C-section, coughing, sneezing, and laughing. Well, laughing hurts. But I'll just say all three of them hurt. But laughing hurts, but in a good way, if that makes sense. It feels good to laugh. And as usual, me and Jim make each other laugh. And then when we start laughing, we get in a laughing fit and we can't stop. But I have to hold the incision part when I laugh because it does hurt. Coughing and sneezing. I haven't really sneezed as much, but when I do, it really hurts. It hurts. It feels like my incision's gonna pop open. And then coughing, it's like my body physically does not know how to cough. I've had a tickle in the back of my throat on this side. And trying to cough, it's because I didn't realize that you use certain muscles in your lower abdomen to cough. And even if I hold the incision, it's you have to gag cough or like cough very hard to get rid of like a tickle in your throat. Like my body physically cannot do that. It's like it's retraining itself how to cough, if that makes sense. And it's not like it hurts. I mean, it hurts, but it's like I can't get like the cough up. It's hard to explain, but so that's been fun. Bleeding. I think I talked about this a little bit, that I'm not really bleeding because I have a vaginal birth. I'm just having spotting, like a period. And that's off and on. That's not really that bad. I am back to reusing my reusable pads. I did bring the pads home from the hospital. And bleeding is also very important because they don't want you to saturate a pad or multiple pads within a certain number of hours. You have to still watch out for blood clots. I mean, you can be a week out and pass the blood clots. You really have to watch like your bleeding. But it hasn't really been that bad, so that's good. It's pretty much almost gone. My sense of smell, taste, sight, everything else. So my senses have increased. I mean, they're going to increase when you're pregnant anyways, like your sense of smell and stuff like that. But somehow, it's like I'm more enhanced being a mom now. I think that could be back to survival days, maybe, where like after you have a baby, you have to be like on red alert, like your human animal instincts kick in. Because I swear, when the animals clean themselves, I can hear it as if it's like techno sonic hearing. It's so annoying. I mean, I could hear them like, Diego, like that. Like, it's driving me nuts. And it's, yeah. And then my sense of smell, it's like, I thought pregnancy sense of smell was really strong. This sense of smell is like, yeah. Anxiety about leaving the babies. I did have anxiety about leaving the babies. I think I talked about this. Every parent is going to have anxiety about leaving their babies in a NICU. I'm doing okay. I know that I can call them at any point in the day, night. I can call, if I'm awake at 4 o'clock in the morning for a breast pumping session, I can call and check on them. The cameras, I said yesterday that the cameras were down, or I didn't know about the cameras and the room switching. I did get on the cameras today. So the username and password that they gave us at the hospital is per baby, not per room. And Isabel's camera is down. They did tell us that this morning, that Isabel's camera is down. It's nothing that they did. It's just, it's a thing. It may not get fixed today. It might get fixed today. It just depends on, you know, the tech crew, which is normal. But I did get to see, or we got to see, because I was pulling it up on a laptop. That's why I keep saying me. But me and Jim, I showed him that Amelia and Trenton were on there. And so that was kind of nice, because he was trying to pull it up on his phone, but I had it up on my laptop. So if I ever say I usually mean me and Jim, but it's usually like I'm doing something on my phone or my laptop, not like, you know, something like that. So yesterday, after I came home, and this is going to be a whole different topic in itself, but yesterday when I came home from walking in the hospital, because they tell you to walk after a C-section as soon as you can, as much as you can, as much as your body is allowing you to, so you can actually heal faster and stuff. I think and I was doing that. I was walking, I was holding the wheelchair that they had if I had to. I was holding the breast pump thingy if I had to. I was walking as much as I can, but I mean, I did rest obviously, but coming home yesterday and doing like the little bit of stuff, I went to go take a shower and I noticed that my ankles were really, really, really swollen. Now, if you've ever had babies and your ankles swell, it could be preeclampsia or it could be just normal. Now, sorry, I'm trying to plug in my laptop. I've never had swelling in my ankles after having babies this bad. So I don't know if it was a C-section thing or if it was because I had triplets. I don't know. But I'm trying to make sure I'm not going overboard on this, because they do tend to leak out of the top if I go too much. But no, my ankles swelled up. I have a picture to insert, and it looks really bad. I asked my aunt, who's a nurse, and she said that it looks normal. My body's been through a lot. Elevate your legs, hydrate. Well, I hydrate anyways, because you have to hydrate. Well, breastfeeding, breast pumping, it doesn't matter. You should stay hydrated. And hydration also helps heal the cesarean. But once I elevated my feet are a little puffy today, but they're not nowhere like yesterday. I think also because I didn't have my ibuprofen all day. I finally picked it up from the pharmacy and took one about like 1 p.m., like right before my shower. And I know ibuprofen helps with swelling. So I think that could have been it, but I am back to taking the ibuprofen every 6 hours, because that's what they told me to do, or that's what the bottle says to do. So that helps to take it every 6 hours. But yeah, the reason why I'm concerned about the ankles, I guess I'll talk about it now because I don't need to make a whole separate video about it, is post-pregnancy preeclampsia. It's like post-clampsia. And they talk about this because you can get preeclampsia after you have a baby, which I did not know until like I researched it, I guess, with this pregnancy. The doctors were kind of telling me about it, but since I didn't really have preeclampsia in my pregnancy, they didn't really discuss it, so I had to look it up on my own. But I don't have a fever. I don't have anything that indicates post-clampsia, but I am keeping an eye on my ankles because that's something that, like, my hands are not puffy, and my face was not puffy or anything else, and I did not have a fever. But my aunt said that it's normal to have swelling in the ankles, and considering how much stuff I was doing, I probably didn't elevate my feet properly, so that's why. And today, I'm getting much rest as I possibly can. It is really hard still, now that I'm home, to pump every 3 hours, but I am sticking through it. This is only day 1. I'm not even a full day in to being home with pumping. I guess I kind of am because I think we came home around this time. Yeah, it's been 24 hours since, so I made it 24 hours pumping at home, and that's good. I'm not, it's hard pumping at home without the babies, but I'm so determined to keep doing it. I'm so stubborn to keep doing it. I'm not gonna not do it. And these are about full, so I have to. Okay, my machine, by the way, goes for 30-minute rounds, but like I fill up both of these bottles within 15 minutes. So I usually it should automatically turn off after half an hour, but I don't have big enough bottles to keep going for 30 minutes. And I would what I was doing earlier is I was keeping it on, taking out the bottles, changing out the bottles, and then putting them back on my boobs, and going till it stopped. But I figured out that it's too much. I'd rather just go ahead and, if I don't spill them, I'd rather just go ahead and do 15-minute intervals and get as much as I can, and then pour them into the big cup, and then disperse the cup out into either baggies or the other bottles I have to take to the hospital. But yeah, my ankles, I am monitoring them. I am keeping an eye on them. I might call the doctors back and ask them about the swelling, or, well, tomorrow we're going in there, so I'll probably just ask them tomorrow and have them take a look at it, because they will be at the hospital. So, oh, yes, and at the hospital, speaking of that, I had to call. I know I mentioned that I needed to call the doctor about my other medication that I have to pick up from the pharmacy while we're at the hospital. I can do that, actually. No more medications. Well, okay, minus the medications for, like, ibuprofen and pain management and help to heal the cesarean. My folate, my vitamin D, my iron, my baby aspirin, all 4 of those I'm not taking anymore at all. I am still going to take the prenatals and continue until I run out of those. You don't have to take prenatals after your baby is born. They told me not to, but I said I kind of want to, just to like keep up with the vitamins, I guess. But my cesarean doctor, said that I could just take a multivitamin instead of the prenatals, because the prenatals have certain things in them that might elevate certain levels in my bloodstream or my whatever that are unnecessary. So taking a regular vitamin, would be better over the prenatals. I don't know if they have like after pregnancy vitamins. I know they have like women's one a day or whatever, but I'm going to look at those. There's so many things I have to look at now that I didn't think of to look at. And then my hospital bag. So You saw the brief clip of me trying to pack my hospital bag. That was kind of a nightmare because let me go ahead and take you guys with me because I know I have to unplug my laptop. I want to put these in the fridge while I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, packing my hospital bag was interesting because I had no idea what to pack. I didn't want to pack too little in case I was going to be there for longer than a, I didn't know how long I was going in for, basically. So I didn't want to pack too little. And then I didn't want to pack, hold on here. All right. Let me show you guys this before I talk about the hospital bag. So I have my cup here with all the breast milk in it. These cups are 28 ounces. So 28 ounces. I just take the ones that I chilled in the fridge, take out the lid, wash off the lid, pour the chilled milk over the chilled milk. And then we take off these. I put the lids, clean lids, back on them. And I put these ones back in the fridge with this. I do have a lid for that. And then when this gets full, I disperse it into bags. One of these cups, which is 28 ounces, fills 3 breast milk bags. And I'll show you the breast milk bags that I'm using. So I have these breast milk bags, which goes to this, technically this breast pump, but you can use any breast pump. And these breast milk bags, technically, you're only supposed to fill up to 6 ounces. No, nothing above this line. So I just fill up 3 of these, which is 28 ounces, which I will do that later. So far I have 12 ounces in this cup. So I have about 3 more rounds of breast milk. And then all I do is I just rinse these off with some hot water. I do have my steamer bag here that I could pour water in and steam them. I might do that during the daytime because it's easier during the daytime than at night. But going back to what I was saying about the hospital bag, it was really hard to figure out what to pack in a hospital bag because I didn't want to pack too little and then have Jim go home and pack for me because no offense to any guy who packs their female's hospital bag, we have certain things that we like and it's easier for us to pack them. But I packed pretty much 4 pairs of pants that I had, a couple long sleeve shirts. Let's see, I wore pajamas into the hospital. I packed another set of pajamas. I packed 3 pairs of pants. I packed 3 tank tops just in case, 1 t-shirt, and then 1 long sleeve. Oh, no, two long sleeve shirts. I packed all my underwear, all my bras, my reusable pads, my toiletries, all of my pregnancy medication. I don't know why I packed my pregnancy medication. I think I packed it specifically because even though I knew that the hospital was going to give me some, this way at least I had it so I could take it if I was staying longer. I'm not sure where to put you guys so I can talk. I had to put these, I just shake them out really good and then I put them in here to dry. But I also have a very clean towel to dry them with. What else did I pack? I packed a couple pairs of socks, thin and thick pairs of socks. I packed all of my reusable nipple pads, just in case my boobs did start leaking more and I had to wear them. Because you don't want to pump when you're pregnant. You can express when you're pregnant, but you don't want to actually pump when you're pregnant. So, but I did bring those just in case. I basically packed as if I was going to stay for at least a month, basically. We'll put it that way. And I packed my electronics, all of my chargers, everything like that. But it's funny though, when I packed my hospital bag, the one thing that they don't tell you is don't pack too much when you go to the hospital. I will say that. Do not pack too much. It's really up to the female or the male, what you pack, but honestly, don't pack too much. Pack just enough, because you actually will come out of the hospital with more stuff than you went in with, because you have, when your babies are dismissed, when the babies are discharged, you get diapers, you get wipes, you get all this baby stuff from the hospital for free. Oh my God, my mother is texting me. She's driving me nuts. And then you also, as a mommy, get stuff. You get like pads, you get wipes, you get, I didn't get any witch hazel this time. They might have been out, or they might have stopped giving it. But like, if you have vaginal birth, they give you like pads, they give you underwear, they give you, the little squirt bottles, because when you have a vaginal birth, you're supposed to squirt, not like rinse or anything. So you get a lot of stuff when you leave the hospital. I'm not sure what else to talk about. My mom, like the dinging of my phone is distracting me. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go, because this is going into a really long preeclampsia video. But yeah, this is day whatever of, I probably will start my weekly preeclampsia. Oh my God, that's how tired I am, you guys. I did get a lot of sleep though, so I'm okay right now, because I went back to sleep at 10 when Jim left for work, and I went to bed. Went back to sleep after 4 o'clock feeding, and went to bed after 10 o'clock feeding. Okay. My point is, I will probably do weekly postpartum updates with you guys, kind of like my pregnancy vlogs. So if you want to continue on this journey with me, and I'll keep you guys informed in case you guys want to know. Thank you to new subscribers. Sorry I didn't get much of the bump videos. I was hoping to do like a whole maternity shoot and a belly bump mold thing, and I have to return to belly bump mold now because I obviously don't need it. I was all excited to do a maternity shoot and this belly mold, and then you guys would get to see more of the belly. But obviously that didn't happen, but that's okay. Things in life, I'm happy the triplets are here. So when I say that I'm upset that I didn't get a maternity shoot and all this stuff, it doesn't matter, because the babies are here and they're healthy, and that's all that really matters. I mean, they are doing well, and my brain is so dead. On the note, today is Sunday, so I'll probably start tomorrow's new vlog. But I wanted to come on here and talk about some of the TMI stuff. I sound so spacey, so I'll try to get a better handle on how to do these vlogs, as opposed to sounding so spacey like I've been throughout my entire pregnancy vlogs. But yeah, this is part 1 of the postpartum updates. Okay.